Bonjour à tous. I want to thank you for all the interesting comments I received in connection with obstacles or challenges you might face coming to rural France. And I've actually made a little list to continue with that. And the first thing I want to touch on again, remember I did the counting with you, that's so different. Then you have telephone numbers. And since I've arrived, I actually needed to give my telephone number to several institutions or places that I went to. And in France, it's completely different than in South Africa. I don't know about the other countries, but here they put the numbers in twos. In other words, for example, 09, 38, 41, 71, 70. So in French that will read 09, 38, 41, 71, 70. So that is the way that you say a telephone number. And it's difficult sometimes when people give their number to you because you really have to concentrate to get the right number. And then a few other things. Basic French is really needed in rural France. For example, accommodation, for eating out, for asking directions, asking prices if you go to a brocante, etc. But I started Duolingo, the free one, before I moved here, probably about a year before I moved here. And I still do Duolingo, an hour in the morning, an hour in the evening. And then I've also started with online Skype lessons with a French teacher. And that helps a lot because you learn a lot of grammar rules, etc., exceptions, and there are many in French. So, other things that I think you need to bear in mind is, why do I want to move? That's very important. Where in France, if it's rural, do I want to go to a village or a hamlet with 2 or 3 houses? That's a very important question to ask yourself. Won't I feel isolated, for example? I'm on the edge of the village of Cité, and I've never felt isolated because I can walk into town. And as you know, I have my wonderful French neighbors, Patrick and Nadège, and I'm close to everything, although I'm on the edge of the village. Then something else, that's the why, the where, and then the last thing is the how. For example, I came here with a huge container filled with all my furniture, etc., just to find out that second-hand furniture in France is a lot cheaper than what the container would have cost me. So I won't make that mistake again, but I'm not going to move again. So, and then something else, will you be able to cope with the cultural differences and the different way of life? Because I can assure you, I grew up in a city. All my life I lived in a city, and now I am in rural tranquility. And will you be able to cope with that? I will continue with these topics in future videos and elaborate especially on the first few things that I mentioned. For example, asking for accommodation, etc. And but at the moment, my first guest from South Africa has arrived 2 days ago, and Hendrik Scissorhands, I call him, because he's a keen gardener, and he's actually outside in the garden, probably busy. But we are off to Limoges now because it is Les Puces de la Cité, which is a monthly event, and it's a huge brocante right next to the Saint Etienne Cathedral in Limoges. So please join us. Let's go to the brocante.